Hi, this is Kristen here with another process video, and today I'm going to be using this cut file that I purchased from Silhouette Design Store. I ended up backing the cut file with different scrap papers that I had. And now I'm just deciding what background paper I would like for the cut file to be on. I'm kind of going back and forth between these two. I do settle on the one with like a little bit less of a pattern. It's almost kind of like a really pale yellow. And that is from my Mind's Eye, and it was a line called Indie. And I've had that in my stash for a very long time. I'm just going to cut off about 1/2 inch here on either side, just so that way the sunflower paper can stick out as a border. And that sunflower paper is from Echo Park, and it's from their line called Homemade. So I went ahead and gutted the middle of the Echo Park paper just since I wanted to use it as a border. I did want to salvage some of the paper for future use. And now I'm just going to mock everything up, make sure I like the pictures where they're at, decide what I want to mount the pictures on, if anything. Now, I don't always mount my photographs. I feel like sometimes, depending on how I have it laid out, sometimes there's not enough room for it, or sometimes I just feel like it doesn't really need to be mounted on anything. I usually do try to mount them though, because I do feel like it calls more attention to the photographs. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and get the background paper or the border adhered with the main paper that I picked out. I really tried to go with like kind of soft, kind of neutral color tones. I do wish I had maybe used a different color for the flowers, but because it does kind of blend in a little bit with the background paper. But I was trying to go with like real soft, neutral tones. And I did do like little pops of yellow in there just to pull a little bit more from the sunflower border. And so I'm just going to get this adhered down. Now, if you do have Silhouette Design Store and you're interested in purchasing this cut file, if you search hexagon wreath, it's like one of the first ones that pop up. Just gonna make sure everything's glued down here. And these photographs that I'm documenting are pictures of my son and my daughter. We had just started our own garden, and we had planted some sunflowers, and they were absolutely huge. And so they were just checking out one of the sunflowers that we had cut down. Now I'm deciding what to back this on, and as you see, I've tried a couple different papers and just wasn't really happy with it. I wanted to pull in a little bit more green because there is just a little bit of green like in the border paper and some of the paper that I backed the cut file with. And so, but I didn't want to do like a real heavy border. So I do decide to double mount it in some, it's kind of like a dark green paper, and that came in the Homemade kit as well. And then I do like a really light, like a really thin white border. And then this sticker pack came with the Homemade kit. And so I pull out some sunflower stickers here and decide I kind of want to add something up to the top there. I find this red sticker that says Happy at Home. And even though this layout does not have a lot of red in it, I did put some red backing paper on like the little acorn pieces of the cut file. And so I did want to work in just a little bit of red up there just so that it pulls a little bit more red into the layout, since I did use a little bit of red. And I find a couple more sunflower stickers, and I decide to cut this one in half. And kind of, space it around the sign. Now I started to adhere some more sunflower stickers kind of sporadically around the cut file, and you'll see here in a little bit, I just decide it's kind of, I mean, the cut file kind of does all the work for you. So I kind of decided after looking at it for a minute, I was like, man, I don't really like how it looks. Like, I feel like it's kind of taking attention away from the cut file. And so I do end up pulling all of those stickers off, except for the ones up at the top. Now this one, I'm kind of like, okay, do I like this? Do I want to put this somewhere? And then that's when I kind of make the decision that I kind of just feel like it's a little, you know, too much. I do end up sticking a little bee up at the top there, and then I had stuck this bee here, and I considered putting it back up at the top, and then kind of moved it around on the cut file because I kind of felt like, well, the cut file, you know, kind of needs a bee down here too. And so I end up putting it back almost in the exact same spot I had it before, maybe just slightly different, but. And then this was part of the cardstock as well, that it was like a bunch of like little labels, and so I fussy cut this part out and really wanted to try to work it in there because it was like sunflowers grow your own or something like that. And so I worked really hard to try to get it in there, but I just felt like it was too much and it kind of took away from the beauty of the cut file. And so I kind of try to tuck it up there, see if I can tuck it up there somewhere. And you know, sometimes you really want to try to get things worked in, but I mean, and I've got other sunflower pictures with the kids, so it's not like I won't, you know, use that in the future. Now, I wasn't sure what I wanted to use my title as, but I just kept, when I was making this layout, I kept thinking of the Post Malone song. And, you know, of course, the hook is, "You're the sunflower," and the lyrics. And so I just, for some reason, that just kept sticking in my head. And so I do take out these gold alpha stickers. They were in a December kit of Hip Kit Club. And I don't know if it was the December 2024 kit or the 2023 kit. And so I just end up doing that as my title at the top. And here are some close-ups of it. I tried to keep it a really simple layout and to let the cut file do most of the work for me. And I appreciate you coming by to watch my process video.